Hello students, welcome back. Myself Swati Hegde, chemistry lecturer in Alpha P College. This is my 14th class on the topic P block elements. In today's class, we are going to start a new group, that is group 17 elements. Group 17 elements. So which elements will come in group 17? Which elements you will see? They are halogens: fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine. Let me write the reactions. Let me write their symbols. Fluorine, next one is chlorine, next is bromine, next one is iodine, next one is astatine, At. I think you haven't heard about this. This is radioactive elements. It is very rare. So it's a very rare element, so you haven't heard. Usually we take if I tell halogens, the thing which comes in your mind is fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. Okay, so where they will occur, where all these elements will occur, this is very rare, because since it is radioactive, it is very rare element. Okay, all these halogens means salt forming, they will form salt, so they are called as halogens. Group 17 elements are called halogens. They include fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine and astatine. Okay, so fluorine exists around 0.07% on earth crust. Only 0.07, as insoluble salts such as cryolite, Na3Al(F6) or fluorospar CaF2, like that. Okay, and chlorine is most abundant halogen. Among all these halogens, chlorine is most abundant. It exists around 0.14% on earth crust. In seawater, water wells in the form of NaCl, MgCl2, like that. Okay, then mainly it exists in sea. This fluorine, as insoluble fluorides such as cryolites, fluorospar, Na3Al(F6) or any in very small quantities it exists in our bones, teeth, water, etc. Okay, this chlorine is most abundant among all the halogens. It exists around 0.14% on earth crust in seawater or water wells, etc. Okay, next is bromine and iodine. These two are their abundance is bit more compared to bromine and iodine. They are very rare, bromine and iodine. It is around 2.5 into 10 power minus 4% of earth crust consists of bromine in the form of bromides of alkali and alkaline earth metals, in the form of bromides of alkali and alkaline earth metals. Iodine also found, it's rare compared to bromine. It is around 8 into 10 power minus 5% of earth crust consists of iodine. It will be in the form of iodides of alkali as well as alkaline earth metals. Okay, this is about occurrence of halogens. So what is the atomic number of fluorine? Next let's see electronic configuration. Atomic number is 9. For chlorine it is 17, bromine 35, iodine 53, astatine 85. This is atomic number of these elements. So how will you write the electronic configuration? The general electronic configuration is Ns2Np5. This is the general electronic configuration. It contains 7 valence electrons. All these halogens contain 7 valence electrons. So these are all atomic numbers. So can you write electronic configuration using noble gas core? For example, for this fluorine, helium 2s2 2p5. This is the electronic configuration for fluorine. Helium is a noble gas core, 2s2 2p5. Next is for chlorine. So here neon 3s to 3p5 is the electronic configuration for chlorine. Next for bromine, argon 3d10 4s2 4p5. Next is for iodine, its electronic configuration, atomic number is 53, and I can write the electronic configuration as krypton Kr. This is noble gas core, 4d10 5s2 5p5. Next is acetine. For this, xenon as noble gas core into 4f14 5d 10 6s2 6p5. This is the electronic configuration. Okay, you can see here all the elements have ns2 np5. Here n is 2, 3s2 3p5, 4s2 4p5, 5s2 5p5, 6s2 6p5. So general electronic configuration is ns2 np5. ns2 np5 the general electronic configuration. Atomic number of fluorine is 9, chlorine 17, bromine 35, iodine 53, and acetylene is 85. 80. It is for symbol for acetylene is 80. 80. AT, and its atomic number is 85. This is how you will write the electronic configuration of elements. Okay. Next is its properties, atomic properties, about its atomic radii, electron gain, enthalpy, etc. Okay, let me write them. First one is atomic or ionic radii. Atomic or ionic radii. What will happen? Again same scenario will continue. What will happen to atomic and ionic radii? Atomic radii, usually what will happen to atomic radii down the group? Down the group atomic radius increases because electrons will enter into higher energy levels. So distance between nucleus and outermost electron increases. So atomic or ionic radius increases down the group. These these halogens will have smallest atomic radii among its period. So what will happen? Along the period, atomic radii decreases. Atomic radius decreases along the period. You will be having 18 periods. So 17th group is for, you will be having 18 groups. 17th group will be for halogens. Halogens will come in group 17. So till after 18, they will not come, you will consider van der Waals radii. Okay, we will not consider atomic radii. So along the period, atomic radii decreases. So 17 group, that means halogens will be having smallest atomic radii in a period. Okay, they will be having smallest atomic radii, smallest atomic radii in period, and their atomic or ionic radii increases down the group, increases down the group. Okay, this is about atomic or ionic radii. Same thing for 16 same as in 16 group, 15 group. So atomic radii increases down the group, and they will be having smallest atomic radii in a period. Next is ionization energy. Ionization energy. What is ionization energy? This is energy required to remove electron. Compared to all other elements in a period, this 17th group will be having maximum ionization energy. So because they will be having smaller size, it is difficult to remove electrons from smaller atoms. So what will happen to ionization energy? Ionization energy will be less compared to all other elements in the same period. But down the group, ionization energy decreases. Ionization energy decreases down the group. Along the period they will be having maximum ionization energy because of the smaller size. Okay, down the group ionization energy will increase because what will happen, down the group size of the atom will increases, so you can easily remove outermost electron. Distance between nucleus and outermost electron increases. Okay, this is about ionization energy. Next one is electron gain enthalpy. Electron gain enthalpy. You can see here. So all these elements, they require one electron to reach next noble gas configuration. They require only one electron to reach next noble gas configuration. So what will happen? They accept electron very easily. They accept electron very easily. So what will happen? They will be having negative electron gain enthalpy. That means energy will be released. They easily accept the electrons and the energy will be released. They will be having negative electron gain enthalpy. And what will happen to electron gain enthalpy down the group? Understand this concept. So electron gain enthalpy means, so they easily accept electrons. These elements will easily accept electrons. So if they easily accept electrons, what will happen? They will release energy, right? So you will get a value in negative. Negative electron gain enthalpy represents they are highly electronegative in nature. Okay, so what will happen to their electron accepting ability? Down the group it decreases because nuclear size increases, distance between nucleus and outermost electron decreases. So nucleus cannot attract the electrons very easily. So what will happen? Down the group electron gain enthalpy should increase. Sorry, yes, it will become less positive. Down the group it will become less positive. So that it should be more for fluorine than chlorine and bromine, but that is not the case. Chlorine and bromine will be having much more negative electron gain enthalpy than fluorine. For chlorine and bromine, electron gain enthalpy is more negative than fluorine. This is because fluorine has the smaller size. So that if it accepts the electrons, what will happen? Electron repulsion will be present there. So it can, because of its smaller size, it cannot accept more electrons. So because of electron repulsion present in fluorine, because of its smaller size, it cannot accept electron, or it will accept electrons, but compared to chlorine and bromine, its electron gain enthalpy, that means electron gain enthalpy is positive compared to chlorine and bromine, or it will be less negative. Okay, compared to chlorine and bromine, fluorine has less negative electron gain enthalpy. Less negative means if it is -10 and ±5, this is less negative, this is more negative. Okay, it will be having less electron gain enthalpy compared to chlorine and bromine. Next is electronegativity. Fourth one is electronegativity. So what will happen to electronegativity? Electronegativity means ability to attract electrons. So down the group electronegativity will decreases because of increase in atomic radius. Atomic radius increases down the group. So what will happen to electronegativity? Electronegativity decreases down the group. Fluorine is the most electronegative element in the periodic table. Its values, electronegativity value is 4. In the whole periodic table, fluorine is the most electronegative element. Remember this, fluorine is the most electronegative element in the periodic table, and its electronegativity of halogens decreases down the group. Their ability to attract electrons decreases down the group because nuclear size or atomic size will increases down the group. This is about some of the atomic properties. First is atomic or ionic radius. So all this will follow same procedures or same trends as before, 15th group or 14th group elements. Okay, atomic or ionic radii increases down the group, and they will be having, all these halogens have smallest atomic radii in that period. Okay, next is ionization energy. Ionization energy, they will be having greater ionization energy, because see here what will happen. If they attain one electron, they will reach noble gas configuration. So what will happen? Ionization energy for this fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine is very high, and their ionization energy decreases down the group. Next is electron gain enthalpy. Electron gain enthalpy is negative for all these halogens. That means they easily accept electrons and they become less negative as you move down the group. Fluorine has the less negative electron gain enthalpy compared to chlorine and bromine because of its smaller size. Because of smaller size, there will be electron-electron repulsion. So electron gain enthalpy becomes less negative. Okay. Next is electronegativity. All these are electronegative elements because they easily accept electrons to reach noble gas configuration. Noble gas general electronic configuration for noble gases is NH2, NP6. These all require one more electron to reach next noble gas configuration. So what will happen? They easily accept electrons. What will happen? They easily accept electrons. So they are highly electronegative in nature, and their electronegativity decreases down the group. And this is very, acetine is very rare element. Usually if you hear halogens, you will the thing which comes in your mind is only fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine, because of very rare occurrence of acetine. Among all this, fluorine and chlorine is most abundant, bromine and iodine is less abundant in nature. This is about its atomic properties. Okay. Next is its physical properties. Physical properties. Physical properties. Physical properties. First one is atomicity. Atomicity. You know that these halogens are highly reactive because they require one more electron to reach next noble gas configuration. They easily accept electrons. So because of this reason, they are highly reactive and they cannot exist in native state. That means in free state. They cannot exist in free state because of their more high electronegative character. Okay. So they always exist as diatomic. Diatomic in nature. All fluorine, chlorine, F2, Cl2, Br2. You will write it like this, right? So all because of their high reactivity, they will exist in diatomic state. Okay. Next is melting point and boiling point. So what will happen to melting point or boiling point? Melting point and boiling point increases down the group. They exist in diatomic state. You require energy to break this bond, but bond dissociation energy is less for these halogens. Okay, so what will happen? It increases down the group. They are held together by van der Waals force of attraction. So you need to, as the molecular weight increases, van der Waals force of attraction also increases. As increase in molecular weight, van der Waals force of attraction increases. So what will happen? Melting or boiling point increases down the group. They increases down the group. Melting and boiling point increases down the group because of increase in their molecular weight. As the molecular weight increases, van der Waals force of attraction increases. So what will happen to melting and boiling point? It also increases. Next is non-metallic character. Non-metallic character. So all these are non-metallic in nature. They easily accept electrons. All these fluorine halogens easily accept electrons and they are non-metallic in nature. Metallic character increases down the group. Metallic character will increases down the group, but all these are non-metallic in nature. They easily accept electrons. All are Non-metals. Non-metals. They have more electronegativity, high ionization energy. So and they are all non-metals because of the electron receiving capacity. They have very high electronegativity. That means they will receive electrons very easily. So what will happen to their metallic character? They are all non-metallic in nature, and their metallic property increases down the group. Next is enthalpy of dissociation. Enthalpy of dissociation. So what will happen to enthalpy of dissociation? Enthalpy of dissociation increases down the group. Sorry, enthalpy of dissociation decreases down the group, because what will happen is, I told you they will exist as diatomic, F, Cl, Cl like this. The energy required to break this bond decreases down the group, because the size increases and they will be far away from each other. That means they are not held strongly by the nucleus. So what will happen to enthalpy of dissociation? Enthalpy of dissociation decreases down the group. So it will be more for fluorine, next is for chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine, etc. Okay. So all these will be having less bond dissociation energy is less, so they are highly reactive, and they will form their bond dissociation energy or enthalpy of dissociation decreases down the group. Next is color. Fifth point is color. All these are colored compounds. All these are colored elements, because so they absorb energy in visible region. They will absorb energy in visible region of the spectrum, and because of absorbed energy or absorbed light, electrons will jump into higher energy level. Electrons will jump into higher energy level, and the color or the energy which passed after exciting the electron will causes the color for this, or it is the reason for color of this elements. The energy or the color which passed after exciting the electron is it is reason for this color of these elements. Okay, and the intensity of color increases from fluorine to iodine. Intensity of color increases because as you move down the group, less energy is enough to excite electron. So what will happen? If less energy is enough to excite electrons, more energy will pass through the atom. So the intensity of the color increases from fluorine to iodine. Now down the group, intensity of the color increases. Okay, next is solubility. Sixth one is, I'll write it here, solubility. Fluorine and chlorine are soluble in water. Bromine and iodine are less soluble compared to fluorine and chlorine. Okay, solubility decreases down the group. Fluorine and chlorine are soluble in water. You will find them in soluble form. Bromine and iodine also soluble in water, but they are less soluble in water, and they are soluble in other solvents like carbon tetrachloride or chloroform, etc. Okay, next last one is nature of bond. Nature of bond. So since they accept electron very easily, they will form two types of bond. One is ionic bond. Most of the bonds are ionic in nature. With more electropositive elements such as alkali and alkaline earth metals, they will form ionic bonds. Okay, or with hydrogen and all, they will form covalent bond. They will form two types of bond. One is ionic bond, another one is covalent bond. Ionic bond is formed with more electropositive elements such as alkaline and alkaline earth metals, and other bonds, for example hydrogen, they will all form covalent bonds with halogens. This is about its physical properties. First one is atomicity. They will exist as diatomic in nature. Melting and boiling point increases down the group because of increase in van der Waals force of attraction. They are all non-metallic in nature. Next is enthalpy of dissociation, which decreases down the group because of increase in atomic size. Next one is color, because of since they absorb energy in visible region, they show color. Electrons will excite into higher energy levels. The energy which passed through the atom will causes the color for this elements, and the intensity of the color increases down the group because less energy is enough to excite electron down the group, so more energy will pass through the atom and causes highly intense color. Okay. Next is solubility. Solubility of fluorine and chlorine is more compared to bromine and iodine. Bromine and iodine are more soluble in chloroform or carbon tetrachloride, that type of solvents. Okay. Next is nature of bond. They form mainly two types of bond. One is ionic bond, another one is covalent bond. Ionic bond is formed with more electropositive elements and covalent bond is with less electropositive elements. This is about physical properties and introduction about group 17th elements. Next class we are going to learn about chemical properties. Thanks for watching.